Welcome back. It's time for Doc Talk, my friends. We started this new weekly segment here at KSAT so that you can ask doctors health questions. It could really be anything. Joining us now live in the studio is Dr. Leo Lopez. He is the medical director and primary care physician with University Health. Welcome.
Happy to be back. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. Okay, so this is a segment all about viewers' questions, and we take them to you. So our first viewer up tonight is Elizabeth M. First of all, I want to say, Mama, hang in there. She's asking, do you have any advice on how to treat colic?
Yeah, thank you for the question. And managing colic can be a really stressful time. So I think grounding us in some terms, we can think about colic generally as when your baby is crying for no apparent reason for 3 hours or more. 3 days or more out of the week, typically in infants 3 months or younger. And so the first thing to know is that this is common. And the other part of it is to have some self-compassion. So one important strategy is if you have a partner or a trusted friend or family member, working with them to ensure that they might be able to cover, do some babysitting, so to speak, so that you can take some time to recover for yourself, because this can be a really overwhelming time. It's also important to know that there's not anything that you're doing or not doing. If this is truly colic, that doesn't mean that your baby is sick. And there's a few other things to keep in mind, and they're worth trying. They're related to feeding and soothing. So on the feeding side, if you are bottle feeding your baby, you might try using a bottle that has one of those collapsible bags. That's one thing you can try. If you are breastfeeding your baby, I might suggest connecting with a lactation specialist to try and change or consider changing the technique. Again, there's not a lot of evidence or research behind the effectiveness of these things, but they're fairly safe to try, and then always ensure that you continue to go to your doctor for the regular checkups.
And so the changes in feeding, is that because you're just trying to minimize the amount of air that a baby is taking in during feeding times?
That's the thought of it. It's not well understood, the underlying mechanisms, but that is kind of one of the thoughts behind it. There are other things that one can try too on the soothing side. So you might try picking up your baby or going for a ride in the car, a walk in the stroller, or trying a warm bath. And again, these are things that are fairly safe and easy to do at home that you can try working on today.
Yeah, a ride in the car can do so many wonders.
And to Elizabeth, we hope that it works out for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now here's a question from Donna D. She's asking, will apple cider vinegar help lower blood sugar and A1C? I know this is sort of touted as a natural sort of remedy.
Sure.
Does it work?
Donna, thank you for the question. And just to kind of go off of Dr. Cobb's segment last week on Doc Talk, we think about the hemoglobin A1C as that report card. It tells us how well our blood sugar control has been over the past 3 months. And so, currently using apple cider vinegar is not an effective way to control your diabetes or the hemoglobin A1C. But there are other things that you can try today to try to take steps to better manage your blood sugar. One is to try and eliminate sugary beverages like sodas, lemonades, teas, juices. Try sticking to water. This is always a good option for us. Try to eliminate processed foods, things like fast foods. Try eating and preparing your food at home and having a wide variety from fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and whole grains. And if you're someone who prefers more of a structure, I'd suggest speaking with your doctor or a registered dietitian about things like the Mediterranean diet or the DASH diet. Those have been shown to be helpful.
Okay, next question from Cynthia G here this evening. She is asking, are there any effects seen in breast cancer and getting the COVID-19 vaccine?
Thank you for the question, Cynthia. So currently, what we do know is that patients that do have cancer are some of the folks that would stand most to gain from the COVID vaccine, because we do know from the research and the studies that over the course of the pandemic, folks with cancer had a higher risk of getting severe COVID, meaning they could end up in the hospital. So I know that there have been kind of these rumors and myths out in the community about the vaccine impacting breast cancer treatment, but there's no evidence to suggest that. So definitely something to consider and to keep in mind for sure.
Okay, now this next question is from Michelle C., and she's asking, where can I get both meningococcal and the Hib vaccinations? And she's saying that she can only find one of the meningococcal vaccines.
Thank you, Michelle. So, it sounds like the vaccines have been either already ordered or recommended. It sounds like there might be an issue with supply. The first thing is to check back with your doctor in the clinic who ordered them. Other places that you might consider trying is calling to any number of local pharmacies to see if they have stock available. Another resource would be Metro Health in San Antonio, checking their website and looking for their contact information to ask about these. And then another place might be the Texas Department of State Health Services. They might have some other resources for you as well.
Okay, so some options out there. Our last question is from Raul tonight. What are the risks of having severe fatty liver?
It's a really important question and some points for us to discuss. So having a fatty liver is actually really common. In fact, this affects 1 in 4 people across the world. And one of the main risk factors for getting a fatty liver is the condition of obesity. And so this also impacts patients who have diabetes. In fact, up to 70% of patients with diabetes have a fatty liver. And up to 40% of those patients will have a very severe version of fatty liver, which I think the questioner might be asking. So the risks of, or the dangers of having that severe form of fatty liver is that can actually progress to things like cirrhosis and liver cancer.
Wow.
But the good news about treating or managing fatty liver, particularly on the more mild side, is that it can be managed and potentially reversed through a lot of the topics that we've talked about. A healthy weight loss, aiming to lose 5 to 10% of your body weight, adherence to the healthy diet like we've discussed, having at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day, trying to limit the fast food intake, regular exercise. So for adults, that means trying to find 150 minutes of exercise in a week. That adds up again to about 30 minutes a day for 5 days. And through that weight management process, we can see some benefits for fatty liver. So definitely appreciate the question and grateful for your time.
All right, Dr. Lopez, same to you. Thanks for being here this evening. We appreciate it.
Definitely. Thank you.
All right. We want to remind people at home, though, send us your questions. We do this every Thursday. So you can go to KSAT12, search for Doc Talk, and let us know what you want us to ask the docs next week.
That's right. Your questions drive this segment, and we very much appreciate your questions. We'll be right back after the break. Around America now, Ford is recalling close to 200,000 Mustangs. The recall is due to a brake fluid level sensor. It may not activate the visual warning indicator when the brake fluid is low. The issue impacts 2020 through 2023 models. Ford says the fix is a software update that can be done at dealerships at no cost to owners. The company plans to start sending letters to affected owners December 4th. Also, this Senator Rick Scott of Florida is throwing his support behind former President Donald Trump in the 2024 race for the White House instead of backing his state's GOP governor, Ron DeSantis. Scott, as you remember, was the former governor of Florida. He announced his endorsement today in a Newsweek op-ed, encouraging every Republican to unite behind Trump. Scott joins most of Florida's Republican Congress members in supporting Trump over DeSantis. All right, now we're going to take a live look outside back here at home. That is such a pretty shot.
Yeah, Kasky gave us a heads up that this is going to be a beautiful one, and it is, Adam.
Yeah, we've got the sunset alert with those mid-level clouds. We're going to get some good colors bouncing off the bottoms of those. Some nice oranges, reds, pinks. It's going to look really good. So have your smartphone ready and your KSAT Weather Authority app with KSAT Connect to submit those photos so we can share them on air. 66 right now. By tomorrow morning, right near 50 degrees, so not as cold as previous mornings. A good comparison for the Drought Monitor and where we've had the most improvements coming up in a few minutes.
All right, it is Thermometer Thursday. We've got a beautiful sunset shaping up, but it's also Drought Monitor Day. Right? Get to see how things have changed, hopefully.
Yep. Thursdays are more than just Thurs. Also updates to the Drought Monitor every Thursday. And the data cutoff for the Drought Monitor is 9 a.m. Tuesday mornings. And they look at it all and then issue the drought monitor on Thursday morning. I have to show this one more time, though. Beautiful sunset taking place. Oh, yeah. Have your phones ready to go. KSAT Connect on the Weather Authority app and upload those photos. All right, let's get to the drought monitor. This is last week, and you see the exceptional drought, the darkest color in the center part of your screen, encompassing all of Bexar County and especially up into the hill country. Now, let's go to this week. 3, 2, 1. And look at that. We changed a whole category of improvement. Let's do it again, right? I like good news too. Okay, here, the worst drought. 3, 2, 1, and voila. Good change. Obviously, we still have a lot of ground to make up, and we've got some work to do in the water department, but this is an improvement, and the damp stretch we had at the end of October really helped us to chip away at the drought conditions. Clearly need more rainfall, but not farther south of town, especially Webb County eastward, even parts of LaSalle County and Dimmitt County. They don't need as much rainfall as what we've seen or what we need elsewhere. Across the state, 65% of Texas is considered in drought. That's a 10% improvement compared to last week. So that's some more good news. I want to talk about the aquifer and rainfall just over the past 6 days. And where you have the purple zone right here, that's the recharge zone. Okay, a bluish purple, whatever you want to call it. This is a recharge zone. That's the sweet spot for rainfall and going basically straight into the aquifer. But we also like it in this contributing zone. And you look at the past 6 days and the rainfall, there it is, popped up. See, we have had some areas of rain in those areas where it helps to contribute to the aquifer. Unfortunately, the aquifer, it's not changed today, and we're still more than 30 feet below average for this time of year, for November. Reservoirs, lakes, still needing more rain. Canyon Lake 63% full. That's 20 feet below the conservation pool. And Medina, of course, very, very subject to big swings at 4% of its capacity. Here's the big picture and the overall pattern. The sweet spot for rain is Pacific Northwest, moving into the Rocky Mountains. Little atmospheric river coming on shore there. It's been a while since we've used that term, atmospheric river. Haven't seen one in a bit of time. But the rainfall potential over the next 7 days is going to be Pacific Northwest and then across roughly the northern third of the U.S. Around here, there's a little sliver of hope for a few showers by about Thursday, Friday of next week. There's the only potential. That would be the soonest. So something to keep an eye on, and we'll keep you updated. 50 tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So not as cold in the morning. 68 at noon, and then by the afternoon, we hit 74 for the high. Mixture of sun and clouds, just some of those nice ornamental clouds could give us more beautiful sunrises and sunsets. Helotes tomorrow, 72, Floresville and Poteet at 77. Then you see that trend upward. We're back into the 80s starting on Sunday, and that's going to be lasting through next week. Not only that, the mornings get a lot warmer, back into the 60s. So we're looking 10 degrees above average for morning and afternoon temperatures by next week. And you're going to feel the humidity starting on Sunday, and that's going to last until our next cold front arrives.
But we get an extra hour of sleep.
You do, and then the sun sets earlier as well.
Okay, all right, just looking for the bright spot.
All right, so we talked about this last week a bit. Well, really the past couple of weeks. And let's go back to the video. Every so often when I'm blowing glass, I push a little too hard and I blow a hole in it. So you see how as I puff air down, it kind of blows the flame away. Well, I can't just fill that up because it won't fill. The liquid will leak right out. So I smush it to try to close that hole. We talked about this over the past couple of weeks, and now I want to show you what the final thermometer bulb actually looks like after the very technical smushing process. And this is the unique bulb that it can make. And you see on the bottom there how it has the black alcohol in kind of a funny shape at the bottom. The hole is definitely been fixed, and it's been clogged, and it's been melted shut, and then you get this nice little hourglass shape and kind of a unique little funny look to the thermometer bulb. So although I can run into issues sometimes blowing the glass, sometimes it works out for the better and makes some of the more unique looking thermometer bulbs.
Yeah, I think that looks cool.
Yeah, right?
I think so too, yeah. It looks artsy.
It is kind of artsy.
It still works the same? It still
totally
functions?
does. Now, sometimes they're more susceptible to an air pocket within the first month of its life. That's why I'm hanging on to this for a while before I would put it on something to give away.
Gotcha.
And air pockets are all fixable. Yeah, just put it back in the socket.
You just smush
Swing
those,
it.
I assume, and then you're good to go, right?
Smush, smush. Go to KSAT.com/thermometer to enter the drawing to win a homemade thermometer.
And you want one of those. They're made with a lot of love.
Yes.
All right, Adam, thank you. We'll be right back. All right, I'm not sure how you're going to feel about this, but you can get ready for a pizza that is true to DiGiorno's promise. It definitely isn't delivery. The company's Thanksgiving pizza is perfect for people who really don't feel like cooking for the holiday. Toppings include, of course, the obligatory turkey, but also sweet potatoes, green beans, cranberries, and crispy onions. If you could only see Myra's face.
Yeah, I mean, not everything has to be a pizza. You know what I mean? The pie even has gravy. That's right. You into this, Kasky?
You got me a gravy.
Oh, okay.
Makes everything better.
We have a taker. If you need some time to think about it, he doesn't. But if you do, that's okay. You can only get it on DiGiorno's website, and it is already sold out.
Wow. See,
So
I
me
would
and
try it.
Stephania are, I guess.
I would try it
minority.
just to know, just to say that I've tried it.
And then you can give the rest to Adam.
All right, we'll be right back.
The humidity will soon return. We still have a few days with a lack of mugginess in the air, but by Sunday morning, oh yeah, you're going to feel it. Dewey's back in the 60s then, and that's going to be the case through all of next week until our next cold front arrives. And right now, there are indications that it'll be either Thursday or Friday of next week. So that's something to monitor and check back for updates.
Okay.
We just spent that entire commercial break talking about that Thanksgiving pizza.
Gravy.
Everybody was
Talk to us. We want to know if you try it. We'll see you at 10.